When Constitution came into force in the year 1950, the Constitution makers felt that merely guaranteeing the equality wouldn't be sufficient for those communities which had faced centuries of discrimination and political exclusion. Therefore, the Constitution had promised special representation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribe population through the Article 330 and 332. 330 says that special representation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in Lok Sabha, and Article 332 states that special representation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes at state legislative assemblies. Not only for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, but also for Anglo-Indian community. But who is Anglo-Indians? These are the people who were born to Indian and European parents. Special representation were given to them even under Article 331 and 333 of the Constitution. 331 says that special representation for Anglo-Indians at Lok Sabha. Article 333 says that special representation for Anglo-Indians at state legislative assemblies. These were to be nominated to Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies when adequate representation was not available through the elections. But there is a condition. The special provisions which were mentioned through these articles were not for indefinite period of time. They were originally guaranteed for 10 years through the Article 334. Article 334 says that special provisions for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and Anglo-Indians are to be continued till 10 years from the commencement of Constitution. We know Constitution came into force in the year 1950 and the original text says these special provisions would continue till 1960. During late 1950s, Parliament felt that these communities who are facing social and economic disadvantages has not disappeared from the society. Therefore, they wanted to extend the time period of these special provisions. This led to Constitution of 8th Constitutional Amendment Act 1959. Through 8th Constitutional Amendment Act, the special provisions which were originally granted for 10 years are now extended for another 10 years. That is, these special provisions which must be ended by 1960 are now available till 1970. Therefore, with this 8th Constitutional Amendment Act, Article 334 was amended. Special provisions were extended to the communities like scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and Anglo-Indians even. This amendment goes beyond the extending time period for another 10 years. It established an important principle in the constitutional development. Political safeguards for historically disadvantaged communities may need to continue as long as the adequate representation were achieved. This is all about 8th Constitutional Amendment Act 1959. If you love to understand all the constitutional amendments in a simple way, make sure you hit that follow button. Thank you.